Today we're going to look at how to modify an existing lower thirds title in Final Cut Pro 10 using motion. So here in Final Cut Pro 10, in the titles browser, in the lower thirds category, we have something called Snap Left. I've applied it to this video clip right here, and it's a cool title, but has a few limitations. If we look in the title inspector, we can turn off the incoming animation, but there is no outgoing animation. In addition, there's no way to change the color of this background. Let's make some modifications in motion. I'll right-click on it and choose Open a Copy in Motion. In Motion, I'll locate the background. Here it is right here. I can tell by turning it off and on. I'll go to the inspector, and here's the fill color. I see that it has a keyframe assigned, so I'm going to click the reset arrow to clear that out. Then I'll set a new default color, right-click on fill color, and choose Publish. Now this fill color will be available in Final Cut Pro 10. Let's also make the text color available in Final Cut Pro 10. It's always available in the text inspector, but this way it will be available in the title inspector as well. I'll publish the name text color, and I'll publish the description text color. If I now select the project and go to the Publishing tab of the Project Inspector, we see those three parameters we published. Let's change the names. I'll call this background, I'll call this first line, and I'll call this second line. Let's also add a drop zone so we can add a logo to this lower third. I'll move the playhead to right when the animation's done. Then from the Object menu, I'll choose New Drop Zone. In the Properties Inspector, I'll reset it, scale it down, and position it over the lower third. I'm leaving it a little bit large on purpose. We'll see why in just a second. Now I want this to animate on the screen, so what I'll do is set a keyframe for position, move the playhead back in time, press I to trim it to the playhead position, and then drag down in the Y value field. If we now play the project, that drop zone animates on with everything else. Finally, let's make everything fade out at the end. I'll close these groups, select them both, then from the Object menu, choose Group. Then from the Behaviors shortcut menu, I'll choose Basic Motion, Fade In, Fade Out, and turn off the Fade In so that now after the opening animation, everything fades out at the end. I'll move to right before the fade out, press Shift M for project marker, open it, and set its type to Build Out Optional, and click OK. That way, when we look at the list of published parameters, we now see an option to both animate it on and animate it off. Finally, let's make this drop zone optional in case you don't want to use it. I'll go back in and select the drop zone, go to the Properties Inspector, and for its opacity, I'm going to right-click and choose Add to Rig, Create New Rig, Add to New checkbox. I'll rename this checkbox to Use Drop Zone, and then in the Widget Inspector, I'll drag the opacity slider to 0 so that it's invisible when Use Drop Zone is unchecked, and then when I check it, it becomes visible. I'll right-click on Use Drop Zone and choose Publish, go back to the project inspector, and there's our new checkbox to use the drop zone. I'll move it above the drop zone, Command-click to deselect everything, and save. Now I'll switch back to Final Cut Pro, and we see our Snap Left copy is now in the title inspector. I'll drag it over the existing copy and choose Replace from Start. Our name is still there from before. In the inspector, we now have the options to turn the opening and closing animation on and off. We can change the background color. I'll take a sample from the shot here. I'll change the text color. And for the drop zone, I'll use this logo here. I'll click Apply Clip. And now if I double click in the viewer, you'll see why I made a large drop zone area. So I have plenty of room to scale and reposition any graphic that I put in that drop zone. So you can see how quick and easy it is to modify an existing template in Final Cut Pro 10 using motion. To learn more about how to do this, you might want to check out our Warp Speed Motion tutorial available now.